good morning, good afternoon, good evening. See, I'm good at it now.
Yeah, you are.
This is Wolf Reacts. I am Wolf.
And I am abillifree.
Today we're gonna take a look at the latest season 15 Coke Studio Pakistan song called Chal Chaliye. It seems to be in Urdu, and it's by a guy named Sajjad Ali, who has been a legend for 50 years, but he looks like he's in his 40s.
Good genes.
Let's get started. 3, 2, 1, play.
Coke Studio, Season 15.
मेरी गलती सुन ले यार तेनू कुछ भी नहीं दरकार चल चलिए हुण नदिया दे उस पार बस काफी हो गई यार तो लेना दे विचकार चल चलिए हुण नदिया दे उस पार तेरी जो कहानी है वो मेरी भी कहानी है ऊंचा ऊंचा बोल सारे जग नू सुनानी है कोई तो आवाज तुझे नींद से जगाएगी टूटा हुआ ख्वाब तेरा जोड़ के दिखाएगी सपनों से आगे तुझे यही लेके जाएंगे सारे पहचान जाएंगे मेरी गलती सुन ले यार तेनू कुछ भी नहीं दरकार चल चलिए हुण नदिया दे उस पार बस काफी हो गई यार दो लैला दे विचकार चल चलिए हुण नदिया दे उस पार जी तो चाहता है लेकिन सोच ये सताती है बात जो नहीं भी होती दुनिया बनाती है पैर है ज़मीं पे लेकिन चांद पे निशाना है रास्ते में आने वाली आंधियां डराती हैं नहीं 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 डरना नहीं हुण कदी पीछे हटना नहीं जान जाएंगे ये सारे जान जाएंगे
Now there's that good cut.
मर मर के जीने वाले कौन से जमाने हैं जिंदगी तो अखाना चुरा ओ ससी और हीर वाले किस्से तो पुराने हैं नवा कुछ करके वखा दिला विच रहन वाला रब मन जाएगा ते आपे सर मान जाएंगे मेरी गलती सुन ले यार तेनू कुछ भी नहीं दरकार चल चलिए हुण नदिया दे उस पार बस काफी हो गई यार दो लैना दे विचकार चल चलिए हुण नदिया दे उस पार नदिया दे उस पार चल चलिए हुण नदिया दे उस पार
Aww. That was so feel good.
It was. No, just been dealing with some, personal family situation with death and things like
Mhm.
that. Been feeling a bit down lately, kind of extracts energy from you, right? And then after watching this, Sajjad Ali, he just made me feel pretty good. It's such a, I think he's like a father figure talking to maybe a young student or maybe a daughter or somebody he's mentoring.
Mhm.
It'll be okay. I'll tell you this about Sister Jadali was like one of those people who was classically trained, right? I think he's been singing for about 45 years. He's classically trained. And the second uh pop music came into Pakistan, like Western pop, you know what he did? He just switched gears while moving his head. He just like he
Versatile.
he went right in and he didn't change who he was. And he just sings just like pretty organically. And he I generally speaking, nice guy. I hope to work with him someday. And I'll be genuinely sad if he passes away, which will happen eventually. He's an amazing, amazing man. My wife got to see him last year in Houston,
Oof.
randomly. Um, his whole family is amazing, but he is just like he's always there for generations, and he's always looked like that, this goddamn vampire, you know. He's amazing, and his voice is just silky smooth. It's never changed since I heard him first time in 1991.
Oof.
Uh, never changed, and he's one of the best, when it comes to South Asian artists. And he doesn't do big things like he doesn't want to. He can, but he doesn't want to. So he just like kind of does his own thing, and he's comfortable with that. And that's a privilege that is the envy of artists everywhere. He is genuine. There's no haters. I've never heard anybody say, "Man, I don't like this guy." His voice is just like, even if the song is, to me, it's like a very much a demure type of song. It's not theatrical. Uh, but I'm not sure why they did this, other than like maybe, and he's like, okay, I'll do it. And they're like, okay, yeah, come on in, let's do something with you. I feel like that's what happened. Anyway, sorry. It's like thoughts are all over the place.
No, that's beautiful. I love an autonomous, independent, sovereign artist. And I think that, I don't know much about him, but how you're speaking about him makes me think that you mentioned like he doesn't have to try hard, right? And some folks, some artists, some just regular people in their life, they sort of like come upon the cheat code, right? Where it's like, no, you don't. You don't have to. If you've been given a gift, you can just do, as he said in the song, as your heart leads you, and that'll lead you to the opportunities that you need. It's not necessary for you to want more outside of what has been like laid out for you. That makes it harder. It's not that you can't achieve it, but the universe has to work a little harder to like uh, grant you more outside of what you've been destined, right? And if you've already been destined this great thing and you can see the beauty and the great thing that you've been given, you have like a buttery ass voice, you have people who love you, you're big in 2 countries, like what more? What else, unless you're given the opportunity. So like I said, I'm extrapolating. I don't know if that's the case, but from what you're saying, like I'm all about it. um, I strive to
Yeah, yeah.
as an artist, as a performing artist, as a recording artist, I strive to like get in that, like align myself to that lane. Um, this was so feel good. I don't know if you know the song that never ends. It was on an old TV show called Lamb Chops Play Along. You're not, we're almost the same age. Anyway, it was a kid show, and the
Anyway,
main character sang this song.
yeah.
This is a song that never ends, and like, of course, it ended. because the show was only 30 minutes, but you could like literally keep singing it. And that's how I feel about this song. Even the way that they ended it, it was like, we're gonna end it. But I felt like even all of the actors and all of the musicians just kept singing it. This is one of these songs where they're on set and they're singing it. Like they're like tuning their like gourd guitar and they're like getting their clay pot together and they're like humming the tune, right? The tune is so catchy, is so melodic, but also it just feels really good. Like I'm gonna shout out some of my favorite lines from here. So where your heart sets, let's cross over to that end. Let the world hear you loud and clear. Rebuild your shattered dream from fantasy to fulfillment. Connect with the voice of your heart. The entire universe will be with you. Nothing is needed on your end. And I'm not saying these in order at all of how they were sung, but wow, like what aspirations, like what affirmations, like I feel like I'll probably put this on my morning playlist. Like this is super nice, you know?
Really?
And
Wow.
I felt you mentioned like this sort of like mentor mentee or like father daughter dynamic. And from looking at both of the singers, like I could see that, but I also just saw like friendship, you know, like I could see a friend saying this to another friend. I want my friend to say that to me, like I'll be with you, you know, like let's go, right? Where do you want to go? Let's do it. Let's go. Listening to him, it made me feel like I don't know, it felt like a self-help book, right? It's like self-worth, like
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
do it, you know. I feel like you can do it, you can do it. So I don't know, that made
Yeah.
me happy.
No, that's a really good point. Yeah. He's saying these things that, let's cross over, forget about your what troubles you. And oftentimes, we can say safely, and it's true, he's a man, it's very easy for him to say that. I like the set designers, and I noticed that they've assembled a set where they're articulating how hard it is for this woman. She's on a balcony by herself, sort of in an enclosed environment. She's talking about, I've got my feet on the ground, but I'm aiming at the moon. And here's somebody cheering her on, and he's not just saying it as a dude. I think he's right there talking to her. Like, you can do it. I'm right here with you. I'm cheerleader for you. It's your time. That type of thing. That was a nice sentiment. I think that there's, Pakistan does not have a good reputation because, we often highlight stories about abuse against women and that type of thing. And this stuff happens there, it's part of society. So it's nice to see, and artists challenge that type of dynamic and uplift the other side of the story.
That's super cool context though, right? Like for me, it's like I can understand now how someone like the first singer, let's see, I want to say his name.
Sajjad Ali.
Sajjad Ali.
Yeah.
My notes are just covering it. I can see how Sajjad Ali has created a career, right? Because he's been doing this from young, and that there's a whole culture built around this, right? I mean, and we can say the same for a lot of cultures, like Black American culture and the church,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
We can see it, we can draw a similarity between that. But that's super interesting context.
Yeah, and it's comfortable for some of these people as a result to step into, the limelight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's accepted.
Yeah, and I trip out, right? Because I don't get stage fright necessarily, just because I've been used to choir, and I was in chamber choir, was in gospel choir from young. Like my grandparents would have like card playing parties, and me and my cousins would do karaoke, right? So when we're presented with the opportunity to like perform for people like we absolutely don't know and who won't like tease us afterwards, right? And if they did, we don't care because we've already been teased by our family enough. Like we've been through the, how do you say, like we've been through the we've been through it, right? We've already had our training, right? We've been through the gauntlet. So I'm now even more not surprised of why I feel like I feel after listening to this song. As far as the vocals are concerned, outside of the lyrics, like, again, the song is very easy, very feel good, very breezy and light. The textures were beautiful. I feel like this song, like, if I were given a chance to like sing this song with Sajjad Ali and Farheen Raza Jaffri, I totally would, because it's in my key. They both have like very deeper, like alto, rich tones. And I know it was a very subtle song as far as the acting, but I feel like it was good. Like it wasn't over the top, but it also wasn't like feelingless and soulless. And then they hit like a few seconds of harmony, I think, after the second verse, and I was that just felt really good.
It was heart melting.
Nice.
Instruments were interesting too. I've never seen a snake charmer's flute, the bean, we call it in Urdu.
Okay. That's bean. Like the gourd clarinet type deal.
Yeah, it's like a fucking ball in the middle. You know, I've never seen that used in an actual like respectable song. It's usually like a street performer or something, like in front of a monkey or something. I don't know. It's just that's kind of like. And then they were like this weird thing. This guy was like, how do you even articulate what the hell all this shit was? You know, it's crazy.
So that sound for me, it reminded me of a mouth harp. And I don't know if you remember when we were in Mongolia, they would like put the mouth harp and like, and hold it between their like lips and their teeth and do the boing, and it's like boing, 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 boing.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel like that was that. It was a mouth harp, but it was a drum, and he was just like playing that string similar to the whatever they do with the mouth harp. But I'm not quite for sure if that is the sound, like if that sound is matching to that instrument.
Yeah.
I couldn't pick it out. I feel like they did. I feel like they featured it, like when that sound was playing, they featured the guy doing it, but all these other instruments were going to, so I wasn't quite sure if that was what it was. A listening audience, if you know, please, the comments are open.
Yeah, I'm at a loss too. Please do let us know. And then of course they played the matka, the original. In Harkale, they were playing like a cousin of the matka with like a nice polished like thing, but like this one is like clay. Literal clay pot, and they were just literally beating it. That's the original.
Sounds nice, also looks nice. Super pretty. Two visual things that I would like to bring up, and maybe you have more context. So it was really nice and added to the wholesome feel when it was like two singers sort of alone, like they're alone, right? And then they come together and they're singing, and then all of the instrumentalists started singing as well, the chorus, and it was just like, okay, like this feels really good. So there was that, but also I want to bring it back to the beginning when there was the silhouette of the train going across the wall.
Yeah, saw that.
And that reminded me of the, you're gonna have to give me more context, but I know in Ms. Marvel, they went through this like whole historical montage of the sort of migration of folks to Pakistan from India.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's what it's referencing or if there's some other importance of the train to this video and to Pakistani culture.
In a way, it's related. I don't think it's exact. It's not quite related, but to like the partition. But I think, and I haven't watched the behind the scenes video. I don't have time, guys. I'm sorry. I mean, ABilli can watch it on her own. I'm sorry, but I think it's referencing this guy's life journey and his life experiences, perhaps.
Okay.
Perhaps. So it is a journey. But what I didn't get was like, there was a bouquet of roses upside down, like hanging on his wall, which is kind of,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Like they were drying flowers or something.
something. Maybe it's like he's going through his life story, and he's like, look, I've got this. I've done a few things, and some of it's pretty good, and I can cheer you on. It's the least I can do. Anyway, so very
Cute,
cool
deep
song.
combo from a really cute song.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah, it's just, the most of the conversation comes from like outside of the context of it. The song, I mean, this guy can write it, and he's done millions of songs like these, he's done rock and roll, he's done R&B, he's done soul, he's done pop, obviously. And without changing, he just sings the same way, and it's buttery smooth, And
It
he
is.
fucking looks the same since 1991. How do you do it, Sajjad? That's all I got.
Good genes.
That being said, unless you have anything else to add.
No, that was those were my notes. It was it felt like a short song, so there wasn't too much.
Till the next time. See you next week with a new one.
Bye.